Hola y buenos dias. Welcome to Spanish Basics. In this module, I'll be speaking to you about adjectives. So let's begin. I've divided the subject into the following topics. At first, we're going to be talking about a definition and a general rule. We'll follow that with gender. We'll follow that with the position of the adjective in the statement. Then we'll follow that with a discussion of shortened form adjectives. Then we'll speak to making adjectives plural. And lastly, we'll speak to a summary matrix of all the rules I'm going to be giving you. Now, just to make sure we're all grounded, an adjective is a word used to describe or distinguish a noun or a pronoun. Example here is the white horse, el caballo blanco. Now, the general rule is most adjectives agree in gender and number with the nouns they describe. So the table on the left speaks to gender. So if the noun is masculine, so is the adjective. If the noun is feminine, so is the adjective. With regard to number, if the noun is singular, so is the adjective. If the noun is plural, so is the adjective. Now, in a dictionary, most Spanish adjectives are listed in their masculine singular form, meaning ending in O. Here we discuss gender. Adjectives whose masculine singular form ends in O, we change the O to A to form the feminine. So, using the adjective pretty, the masculine is bonito, the feminine is bonita. We just change the O to the A. Now, there are exceptions. Adjectives that end in E or ISTA do not change according to gender. They remain the same in both the masculine and feminine usage, but they do change in number by adding S. So, let's go through this. The adjective kind is amable in the masculine and a feminine form. The plural is amables. The adjective sad is triste in masculine and feminine forms. The plural is tristes. The adjective interesting is interesante in the masculine and feminine form. In the plural, it's interesantes. The adjective idealist is idealista in the masculine singular, in the masculine and feminine form, and in the plural is idealistas. Now we're going to be discussing about the position of the adjective in a statement. Adjectives usually follow the noun they modify. Example here is a tall girl, una muchacha alta. Here's an exception. Adjectives which give the inherent quality of a noun or limit a noun usually precede the noun they modify. Here are two examples of what the statement is saying. The first example, the beautiful Statue of Liberty. In Spanish, la hermosa estatua de la libertad. The second example, the two dresses of my sister, los dos vestidos de mi hermana. Now, there's what are called shortened form adjectives. A few adjectives take shortened forms when used before masculine singular nouns. So I provided a table here of common examples of these adjectives. We're not going to go through the entire table, but we'll go through a few, and then on the right are some examples of their usage. So let's start with the word big or great. In Spanish is grande. The shortened form is gran. An example is un gran hombre. Now the next example is bad. The regular form of it in Spanish is malo. The shortened form is mal. An example is un mal gobernador. The next example is good. The regular form of it in Spanish is bueno. The shortened form is buen. An example is un buen perro. The next example is first. The regular form of it is primero. The shortened form is primer. An example is primer grado, first grade. And finally, the word one. The regular adjective is uno. The shortened form is un. The example is un hombre, which is one man. Now, here we're discussing the plural of adjectives. Generally, to form the plural of adjectives, we add s or es to the singular form. Adjectives ending in an unstressed vowel or an accented e, we make it plural by adding s. So here's some examples. A tall boy is un muchacho alto. Now the plural, the tall boys, is los muchachos altos. We just add the s. Now, a brown shirt is una camisa café. Note the accent over the E. In the plural, some brown shirts, unas camisas cafés. We retain the accent over the E and add S. Adjectives ending in a consonant do not change in gender but are made plural by adding es. For example, the blue paper, el papel azul. In the plural, the blue papers, los papeles azules. We just add es. Now the following example, the noun is, we're going to refer to a feminine noun just to give you an example with the same adjective. The motorcycle is blue. La moto es azul. The motorcycles are blue. Las motos son azules. Once again, we just add es. Now, one more topic on the plural of adjectives. For adjectives ending in Z, we make these plural by changing the Z to C and add es. The example given here is the happy cat, el feliz gato, el gato feliz, and the happy cats, los gatos felices. We just change the Z to a C and add es. Here we're speaking to the plural of adjectives. These are some exceptions. Now, adjectives that end in OR, ON, or IN do have feminine forms. Add A or ES or AS to the masculine singular form and delete the written accent when necessary. So here is an example of this rule. My brother is a hard worker. Mi hermano es trabajador. My sister is a hard worker. Mi hermana es trabajadora. My brothers are hardworking. Mis hermanos son trabajadores. My sisters are hardworking. Mis hermanos son trabajadoras. Now, adjectives ending in ERION do not have a feminine form, but they change in number by adding ES. So, let's go through this example. He's in the back patio of the building. Está en el patio exterior del edificio. Now, in the plural, he's in the back patios of the building. Está en los patios exteriores del edificio. We just add ES. Now, here we're going to use the same adjective, but it's going to refer to a feminine noun. He's in the back part of the building. Está en la parte exterior del edificio. Now, in the plural, he's in the back parts of the building. Está en las partes exteriores del edificio. What you have here is what I call an adjective summary matrix. All the rules that I gave you before are summarized in this matrix. For some, it's easier to remember the rules. For others, it's easier to remember the table. So, or in this, what I call here a matrix. Whichever works for you, I provided this for your ease of use. At this point, we're almost at the end of this module, and it is my custom, I like to go through a refrain. Muchas cosas pierde el hombre que a veces las vuelve a hallar. Many things the man loses who sometimes finds them again. At this point, we've completed this module. I want to thank you for viewing Spanish Basics, and may you have a good day. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.